Good morning. This is Kevin. We're taking a look at the 10-year Treasury notes on the ZN contract again this morning. Just thought at first I'd start out with a look at our longer term on this hourly. And if you'll notice what I've got this labeled up here, that tentatively we've put in this intermediate wave 2 high, and it looks to me like, we've had a series of 5 waves down. The first being what I'm counting now is a minute wave 1, which we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 waves down. And then for a minute wave 1 and then minute wave 2 up here. Now, if this is, if I'm right in my assessment here, if this is a minute wave 1, then we should be in the beginning of the minute wave 3. And I think we're right now that it looks like we're kind of approaching some critical levels, or a level here where I think that short-term wise we could very well see a bounce from this level. If you'll notice over to the left, we have this a wave 4 low. At this level here. Now we're coming right down very close to that level this morning, and it looks like maybe before the end of the day this morning here we could come right on down here and perhaps see a bounce off of this level. Typically we'll see this kind of a level as being support, but in order for this count to really confirm it, we really need to see this wave 4 low taken out. So it wouldn't be a bit surprised to see that we may come down close to it and get a bounce off of it before we actually break through it. But kind of longer term, that's the way I'm counting this out right now. Let's kind of get down to a 15-minute chart, and we'll look to see how this is playing out perhaps at this level in the counts here. And I've measured some things out. Friday we were looking, I think Friday morning we were about the time put out the update on the video Friday morning, we were right here at this fib grid level, and I thought perhaps we were going to, I'd had this counted out as a wave 1 down. I had my target area up here for a wave 2, and Friday we saw the beginnings of another steep sell-off. So we were pretty well right in this count Friday, and we did get a pretty good sell-off right from there. So I was pleased to see that work out. Since then, I'm counting this as a wave 3 down here, wave 4, and we should be, my count is correct here, very close to ending this this 5th wave down in a minute wave 1. And here's the that wave 4 and the level that I was looking at on the hourly chart. So could be that this is already finished and we've started a retracement back up already, but count still allows for coming down into this area here. If you'll notice, I have this wave 5 equals 1 here. That's measuring off of this wave 1 from the top of this wave 4. And we're right down at that level at 125.095. Right now we're below it. But the second level that I have measured right here is that we'd actually have the length of wave 1, this minute wave 1 here, from minute wave 2, it's 100. It equals this wave into this wave 1 would equal the minute wave 1 at this level here. So there seems to be quite a bit of support right in here that we could look for a bounce from there. Perhaps if we come down one more time and hit these levels, but I'm looking for a bounce back up. So that's kind of my outlook for the day on the 10-year treasuries here. But let's take next thing we'll do is take a look at a Fibonacci retracement. If we get a bounce from here, and this is a wave 1. Oops, I got the wrong one there. Take the retracement levels. Let's just put it right down here at what we might be looking at and see if we've got some common areas where we might be looking at. So if we've got if this being a wave 1 of the minuet degree, we could see a bounce back up, typically in the 38 to 62% level. So this could end up being a fairly decent bounce on that, and it may coincide. I'm kind of looking at the equities as maybe getting a retracement back up of the move we've had down. So in coordination with the equities, I wouldn't be too much surprised if we'll see, a bounce from here in these levels. So I'd be kind of anxious or really not anxious, but I'm more inclined to see if this comes back down or if we get a move back up in a pretty similar fashion before too long. We broke through this, which was significant, is that we broke through this tree line on the fib grid here too. And, we came down to it, spiked back up, came back on down through it. So this is a pretty significant level that we broke through right now, yesterday or Friday. And speaking of the fib grid levels, if you're using the fib grid study, I've kind of changed the parameters on this and gone. Let me show you what I'm using right now on the fib grid. I went through. I think we're in fib grid section. Before I just had the regular arithmetic study on it, but that was kind of giving us some wider levels that I thought we'd kind of zoom in, and David has changed the fib grid level on this, or the fib grid study on this. And so what I've got is the ZN, and I've used the 6.18 projection mode and using it off the semi-geometric setting on this. So I kind of like the looks of that, using that. So if you've got the fib grid study and are tracking the ZN or trading the ZN, that looks like that's a pretty reliable study. If you'll notice up in here, we've come up in the mogul areas here has been significant areas of resistance and support. Then we came back down to the tree line here, and that obviously was a support area. In fact, it took 3 or 4 tries on this 15-minute chart before it finally broke down through to it. So don't really have a fib grid level below us right now, so I'm kind of relying on these fib extensions and fib levels here to give us some targets for a bounce here. But that's what I'm looking for today. So I think that kind of wraps up what I'm looking at right now on the ZN. So hopefully we'll see what happens here the rest of the day, and we'll update it again tomorrow morning. So y'all have a good day of trading, and we'll be back with you tomorrow morning.